Jess Hilarious, she did a live that kind of really sparked it. I mean, prior to that, Corey Holcomb, the comedian, they got a long standing beef, and he was talking shit about her, saying how the girl Lauren LaRosa came in, took your spot, this, that, and the third. So a day or two ago, Jess did the live, and she kind of like addressed some of the comments about her spot being taken, how she felt about Lauren, and so on and so forth. And much to some people's surprise, she was very candid in speaking how she really felt, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. For social media and fans, she did it. She said she felt some type of way about her when she first came back. She said that she chose her to take her spot, or fill in for her rather, while she was on maternity leave. When she came back, she saw that Lauren was still there and kind of still a fixture there. And then her segment, Jess with the Mess, pretty much turned into Lauren's segment, where they called it Jess with the Mess, but Loren basically did it. So, I mean, the live opened up a lot of eyes, and then it just confirmed some things that we probably already thought as human beings, how you would feel. And then they went on the air and aired it out a little bit more. So, what do you guys think? Do you feel like Jess, she should have did that? Was she right? Was she wrong? What you think?
I'll go first. So, first thing I thought about was
Wally
kinda, but the very first thing I thought about was OPP, right? That's the first thing I thought about when I started to come on there and do my political perspective, right?
Oh, you mean
wasn't-
OPP, opposing perspectives? I thought you
Yes.
was talking about other people's property.
So
No, bro.
that's where my mind was. I'm like, naughty by nature.
I would expect your mind to go there rebellious, but not this guy. It was this
Not
show,
me, right,
The former
of course.
show, right? But I
Proceed.
thought about So I thought about coming onto a show and not being an original kind of member of a show and having kind of like your own segment, and then things kind of getting out of whack. So that's actually the very first thing that I thought about. Like what if something like that happened? How would another co-host feel if somebody, just kind of like took their shine, whatever, right? That's the first thing I thought about. The second thing I thought about was, I don't know if it feels like to me, sometimes we don't think comedians have feelings. And I thought about Jess like, yeah, because she laughs, she jokes, and shout out to her social media.
Right.
Definitely shout out to her social media. But like I said, I was thinking like, yo, like,
she kind of tough.
Yeah, like,
I mean?
so for her to be so emotional, it was very shocking. Right. It was very shocking to me because I really didn't I'm not that tuned into the Breakfast Club, right?
Right.
But but just what I know about her, I did not expect her to be that emotional, right? And some of the things that she was talking about, what wasn't specific to Lauren, it was specific to Breakfast Club as a whole. So like she, I think it became like a Jess versus Lauren thing, but like a lot of her issue was, how the other two hosts, Envy and Charlemagne, behaved towards her. She didn't feel like they were supporting her.
Right.
And what I thought was interesting is that she brought Lauren on. And she kept saying that, but not like in an arrogant way. She kept saying it like I understand that, this woman that I brought on is ultra super talented. However, if this is my role, then we need to create something different. You can't have two people kind of doing the similar thing, and it's like Jess was doing like the mess, right? She's doing like the messy stuff, right? And then Lauren was doing more of like the what you would consider like what you would consider like as being a reporter or a journalist. And I can definitely understand how she felt, right? I definitely can understand how she felt, especially considering what she what she had to go through in order to get that spot, right? That spot wasn't just given to her. She earned that. She earned that, and the Breakfast Club is a very popular, very
Yeah.
popular show. Absolutely very popular show. It took a lot. It took a lot to get in there. So for it to, almost kind of feel like it's crumbling in front of you and somebody taking your shine, that to me means that you probably got fear that person is going to take your job, right? And
So
that's and,
let me,
and I think that a lot of it was just that fear.
can I just jump in, right? Do you think that this is the industry standard though for women? Is that we can't have two women on the same platform? They have to always pit the women against each other. It turns into a competition. Like, with female rappers, when there's one that's good, or, they might have fought for their spot first. It's never a kumbaya. It's always a competition.
Belle, you bring up a great point, right? Because I had heard online somebody said, have you ever seen a female rapper sign another female rapper or build up another female rapper? Like, think about all the best female MCs. Do they got another female rapper that they sign themselves or that they build up? No, they might get a cosign, but I mean, as you were saying, I'm thinking about shows that have more than one female, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is not many, right? So I see it, like pitting women against each other, having y'all go at each other. It makes for good content.
Exactly. And
All
this is
right.
why it is going, like, with social media is eating it up.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Well, now, Belle, what's your stance on it?
I feel like
Because we're gonna get messy after this.
I feel like Jess with the mess does have some valid points, but I also think that because of her persona, and she does give off mean girl. She does. She gives off mean girl. So it's like, this is why so many people are shocked, because you have emotion behind this mean girl facade, where most mean girls inside is a Twinkie feeling anyway. It's just like,
Right.
they had to put this up, right? And her pulling Loren in, because she, Loren, she knows her. She was a producer, right? So her behind the scenes. So now you brought her to the forefront. Doesn't really mean like I brought you here temporarily. I didn't mean for you to steal my shine or take my spot. But because you give off your persona, maybe the viewers were looking for a little something else. So when Loren came in, it was like, oh, we could have this without it being like that. It's like a breath of fresh air. Not saying that your content isn't needed, but when you're talking about entertainment again, did those views go up? Did the engagement go up? And once those things happen, this is why she's still here. You know what I mean? But they probably should have sat down at the table and had a meeting and said, going forward, both of y'all are going to be here. This is how things are going to go. And, just stepping back in thinking like, oh, I'm back. See you to the little one. It's like, nah, she ain't going nowhere.
Nope. Yeah. All right, well, listen. Let me just say, piggybacking off of what Belle said, the last thing you said, I definitely agree with Jess on that point, where it wasn't clear how we moving forward. It's still a lot of ambiguity, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also definitely agree with, they probably should have had a meeting about this. Like, it probably should have been a meeting before Jess went live. All right.
But Jess said that, because when I watched the interview, she said that they met about this.
Well, that's what Envy said. And remember, Envy said, listen, I came to you and told you if you feel some type of way, or I feel like Jess she a little bit immature in this situation. All right, let's keep it all the way a beat.
Yes.
Now, I'm not a woman, so I'm gonna tread very lightly here when I say this. I've heard them talk about postpartum when Jess came back. All right. Now you look at the situation. Soon as Jess got hired, I think she might have filmed a few, and then she went right out. All right. So now we don't got you. you put the other girl in spot. Loren actually better than Jess. All right, like not better. Not. I'm not just saying like a better talent, because obviously Jess is talented. She's a comedian. She is funny. She is entertaining. That Jess with the mess she was doing on IG is much better than what she's doing on the show. But you know what I mean, that's neither here nor there. But Loren fits the culture at Breakfast Club. And I realized that the moment that I said, when it was the Gary Owens episode, and I'm like, I don't really like this Joan. Like, she going at people, she kind of drawing. Then I realized, like, oh, like that's her stick. And that shit work. Because Charlemagne go at people too. But it's Charlemagne. Now you got a young Joan that's going at people. She do her research. She throwing things at people that they not even ready for. Or like, damn, how you know that? Like, she just seems like she fits that culture better than Jess. So, like, unfortunately, Jess definitely got Wally pipped, yo. And at this point, she might as well be out. Like, when the contract negotiations come up, we not paying you, Jess, because Loren is not only an on-air personality, but she also do segments. Baby girl, you can't do that, and we love you. And Charlemagne was the one that brought you on. But yo, go get a podcast. Go listen. Go see Joe. See if Joe will put you on a recurring joint or something. Like, cause she got too much of a fan base to let like. Cause I really feel like Corey Holcomb, he sparked a lot of this. Yo, like he pointed it out early, and I guess a lot of us wasn't really thinking about it. We didn't even realize it was like, we just was like, all right, you know what I mean?
It wasn't till she came back and they started clashing. And you know what I looked at, you telling somebody to hush up and to be quiet and all that stuff. It's like,
I wasn't invested in Breakfast Club enough. Like Reggie, I'm probably a little more than Reggie, because there are some I'll go and watch, but I didn't know that it was that type shit going on. And then she was like, listen, my mom don't even tell me to hush.
Right.
Like, you should have said that. I thought they might was going to go to blows a little.
It kind of was doing that.
Listen, they said, maybe I think it was yesterday's show that Loren and Charlemagne was on the elevator and saw Jess walking up. They hit the button.
Loren was like, I ain't know how you was coming. You know?
Right. I mean, like, I didn't know what you was on. And hit the button, man. I mean, I'm gonna say, I just it always pains me when people can't get along. There's a space and role for everybody. But when you do feel like you're being replaced, I mean, that can definitely trigger you emotionally. I think if you have enough confidence in yourself, enough confidence in your brand, then you won't feel as though you're being replaced. You may have to step your game up, or you may have to change some things. But if you don't really have that much confidence in your position, and because she hasn't had that position for a long time, it's probably she hasn't like developed that confidence. Like, this show will not be the same without me, and the show will move on without her. And she understands that, and that so she's thinking from that perspective, and that just makes it kind of sad.
I think this may be one of her first more humbling experience in a long time. Because I know in the beginning, like when you hungry, you going after it. I know she's been humbled plenty of times, right? That's just the nature of the business. But when you are established, and now in your mind you're established, and you come back to be humbled, it's hard. And that's just a regular person beyond the postpartum, beyond the hormone fluctuation. You know what I mean? And you add all that on. She probably felt attacked and betrayed and everything else. But as an adult, it's a certain way that you just have to handle that. And I don't think she's handling that handle right. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, but she is being consistent with what we see in the world today. Everybody go to social media.
Yes.
Everybody go to social media to put their gripes out there. That's just a part of it. You already know how I feel about that, man. It's just it's just
No,
a part of
listen,
it's just a part it's a
shout
part of
out
the
to
culture.
her for being transparent, because honestly, it didn't surprise me that she like was emotional, because I've seen her like that on the show before. You know what I mean? You could tell that Jess puts on, like Belle said, like she put on that hard exterior, probably because she is a little woman, right? And she probably had to be tough, extra tough, dealing in a male dominated industry, and for what she wanted, you had to get tough skin. And also, to Belle's point, when you tough like that, most times you soft as shit inside.
Right.
And so those things affect you. And I mean, I was just surprised she just came out and was like, yeah, I wasn't feeling her at first. I thought that was the realest shit she could say, because I know you wasn't feeling her.